We're actually doing, we're highlighting from a black perspective the elite aspect of discrimination in terms of either black footballers, black actors not getting Oscars. And I also look at it from an intersectional point of view in terms of from a female point of view or gay point of view about women not being able to get Oscars. You look at the Harvey Weinstein case, for example. Tarana Burke started the Me Too movement about young black girls in the inner cities who were sexually abused. It then got hijacked to then become about Hollywood actresses and Harvey Weinstein.
John Barnes' most challenging career moments primarily stem from his ill-fated managerial career, a crucial title-deciding era as a player, and the highly publicized financial struggles he faced after retirement. Despite his brilliance on the pitch, these setbacks created emotional chapters that shaped the depth of his story. Barnes, known for elegance and control as a footballer, found himself battling frustrations later in life. Each challenge tested him in different ways, revealing a resilience not always seen during his playing days. These hardships added complexity to a man often remembered only for his talent. His journey blended triumph with unexpected adversity. Barnes entered management with great expectations, carrying the aura of a former superstar stepping into leadership. Yet success proved far more elusive than during his time as a player, and promising opportunities quickly turned difficult. At Celtic, he faced internal tension, disappointing results, and a lack of support that hindered his progress. A shocking cup defeat accelerated his dismissal, marking an early and painful setback. The experience left Barnes questioning the path he had chosen. It became a defining low point of his post-playing career. His later managerial spell at Tranmere Rovers also brought challenges, as performances failed to match the pressure he faced. Barnes struggled to implement his philosophy with limited resources, leading to poor results and early termination. Critics viewed these failures harshly, overshadowing his accomplishments as a player. The frustration of unfulfilled managerial ambitions weighed heavily on him. For Barnes, these disappointments became reminders of football's unforgiving nature. They marked the stark contrast between his iconic playing career and his turbulent coaching journey. Even during his playing years, Barnes endured moments that haunted him long after retirement. One of the most painful was a costly error in a title-deciding match, an uncharacteristic slip that carried heavy consequences. Though he had delivered years of brilliance, this single moment drew intense scrutiny from fans and media alike. Barnes acknowledged the mistake as one of the hardest he faced emotionally. It became an unwanted blemish on an otherwise extraordinary record. The incident followed him 4 years due to the magnitude of the match involved. After retiring, Barnes faced more personal struggles as financial difficulties became public knowledge. Business ventures collapsed, investments failed, and debts accumulated. Drawing uncomfortable media attention, the pressure of these challenges added strain to his post-football life. Barnes spoke openly about the emotional toll, highlighting how quickly stability can disappear. The vulnerability he showed earned him sympathy and understanding from many supporters. These hardships created another difficult chapter in his journey beyond the pitch. Through it all, Barnes remained determined to rebuild and redefine himself despite the setbacks that shaped his later years. Each obstacle revealed a man willing to confront adversity head-on, rather than hide from it. His struggles added humanity to a career often defined by flair, creativity, and excellence. Fans came to appreciate not only his footballing genius, but also his honesty about hardship. Barnes' story became richer through the challenges he endured. These moments laid the foundation for a powerful, multifaceted legacy. Celtic marked the beginning of John Barnes' managerial difficulties, arriving with high expectations but ending in abrupt disappointment. Appointed in 1999 with hopes of introducing fresh ideas, he faced internal challenges almost immediately. The team struggled to adapt to his style, creating tension on and off the pitch. Results worsened as pressure mounted, leaving Barnes in an increasingly fragile position. The Scottish Cup defeat to Inverness Caledonian Thistle became the breaking point. It cemented his exit just 8 months after his arrival. The 3-1 loss against Inverness Caledonian Thistle was one of the most shocking upsets in Celtic's modern history. Fans and media reacted with disbelief as the second-tier side dominated the match. The famous headline, "Super KE go ballistic, Celtic are atrocious," reflected the national humiliation of the result. Barnes felt the full weight of responsibility fall onto his shoulders. The defeat overshadowed any progress he hoped to build. It became the defining moment of his short and painful Celtic tenure. For Barnes, the dismissal brought emotional and professional consequences that lingered long after the headlines faded. His first major job had ended in dramatic failure, damaging the reputation he carried from his playing days. Critics questioned his leadership, tactical approach, and readiness for top-level management. Barnes defended his efforts but acknowledged the challenges he faced behind the scenes. The experience left him wary of how quickly narratives can shift. It marked the beginning of a difficult chapter in his post-playing career. His move to Tranmere Rovers years later offered a second chance at management, but it proved even more difficult. Appointed in 2009, he entered a club with limited resources and growing expectations. The squad struggled to adapt to his passing philosophy, leading to early inconsistencies. Results quickly spiraled, placing Barnes under immediate scrutiny. Only 2 wins from 11 league games sealed his fate. The project collapsed before it ever had a chance to grow. The termination at Tranmere was deeply frustrating for Barnes, who felt he was never given enough time. Critics labelled the stint as further evidence of managerial shortcomings. Supporters of the club, desperate for stability, saw little improvement under his leadership. Barnes insisted the environment lacked the tools needed for success, making progress nearly impossible. Regardless, the outcome added to the growing perception of managerial failure. It pushed him further away from future opportunities in English football. The 2 unsuccessful spells made management one of Barnes' most challenging career arenas. They contrasted sharply with the confidence and control he exuded as a player. Each dismissal chipped away at the legacy he had built during his playing years. Barnes often reflected on the unpredictable nature of coaching and the different pressures it carried. He emphasized how little patience managers are afforded compared to players. The experiences shaped his understanding of football politics and expectations. Beyond management, Barnes faced one of his most painful playing memories in the 1989 league title decider. Liverpool held a 1-0 deficit against Arsenal, a scoreline still enough to secure the league title. In the final minute, Barnes gained possession. Liverpool only needed to keep the ball. Instead of taking it to the corner flag, he attempted to attack the goal. He was dispossessed by Kevin Richardson, a moment that shifted the match's destiny entirely. It became one of the most scrutinized decisions of his career. Arsenal transitioned instantly from Barnes' turnover, creating a counter-attack that stunned the football world. Michael Thomas surged forward, scoring the decisive goal that snatched the title away from Liverpool. The stadium fell silent as Arsenal celebrated a historic triumph. Barnes felt the weight of the moment with crushing force. The era haunted him for years, often resurfacing in discussions of Liverpool's near misses. It became an enduring chapter in one of football's most dramatic finals. For Barnes, the 1989 incident was more than a tactical mistake, it was a personal wound. Despite seasons of brilliance, the moment became a talking point that critics replayed endlessly. He acknowledged the error and its consequences with honesty, accepting the burden it placed on him. Supporters debated whether the responsibility truly rested on his shoulders, yet Barnes himself carried the guilt long after the final whistle. It became a reminder that even great players face defining moments of regret. The scrutiny that followed placed emotional strain on Barnes, who had built a reputation for creativity and intelligence on the pitch, while teammates and managers stood by him. Public memory often narrowed in on the mistake. Barnes understood that football's harshest judgments fall on its biggest stars. His resilience in facing the criticism became part of his character. Instead of hiding from the moment, he addressed it openly. That honesty deepened fans' respect in the long run. Off the pitch, Barnes encountered even greater challenges through severe financial difficulties after retirement. Business ventures he pursued failed to deliver success, leading to increasing debts. John Barnes Media Limited, his primary company, went into liquidation with debts exceeding £1.5 million. Much of the amount was owed to HMRC, which added legal complications. The scale of the financial fallout drew widespread media attention. Barnes was thrust into headlines for reasons unrelated to football. A 2023 investigation revealed that the company failed to pay nearly £200,000 in taxes, resulting in strict consequences. Barnes received a 3.5-year ban from serving as a company director. The news intensified scrutiny on his financial management and business decisions. He faced further embarrassment as additional details emerged. The restrictions added stability challenges to an already difficult financial landscape. It marked another painful moment in his post-football life. Barnes also faced multiple personal bankruptcy petitions dating back to 2010, adding further strain to his public image. Each case brought renewed attention to his financial troubles. He admitted his younger self spent freely, not anticipating long-term consequences. These revelations highlighted the pressures athletes face when transitioning out of sports. Barnes became an example of how quickly fortunes can fade after retirement. The experience humbled him deeply. Through the turmoil, Barnes expressed regret, but also used his platform to educate others. He spoke candidly about financial literacy and the lessons he learned. His ability to confront mistakes publicly demonstrated maturity and transparency. Supporters appreciated his willingness to address issues that many former athletes hide. The honesty added another layer to his evolving legacy. It showed growth born from hardship. Despite the setbacks, Barnes maintained a presence in football culture as a pundit, speaker, and ambassador. His insights reflected not only knowledge but life experience tempered by adversity. He offered perspectives shaped by both triumph and failure. Fans responded to his authenticity, valuing the honesty he brought to discussions. Barnes' challenges made him more relatable to the public. He emerged with a renewed sense of purpose. Every major setback Barnes experienced on the pitch, on the touchline, and in his personal life shaped a story far more complex than his highlight reels suggest. His journey illustrates how even most gifted athletes confront real struggles beyond the roar of the crowd. Barnes faced each obstacle with resilience, whether through reflection or rebuilding. His story reminds fans that legends are human too. The difficult chapters deepen the meaning of his success. His legacy continues to evolve through both triumph and trial. Ultimately, Barnes' challenging moments define not weakness but the depth of his character. His setbacks reveal a willingness to confront failure, learn from it, and keep moving forward. They provide balance to the iconic moments that shaped his playing career. Barnes' resilience continues to inspire those who face their own obstacles. He stands as a reminder that greatness is not measured only by victories. His journey shows strength even when the world feels unforgiving. John Barnes' story is a testament to resilience, courage, and the ability to face challenges head-on. From managerial setbacks to unforgettable moments on the pitch, his career reflects both triumph and adversity. Every obstacle he encountered revealed the determination behind his legendary talent. Fans admire not just his skill, but his honesty in addressing failures. His journey inspires young athletes to embrace both victories and setbacks. Barnes' legacy is a reminder that true greatness encompasses more than just statistics. Despite setbacks at Celtic and Tranmere Rovers, Barnes showed perseverance in the face of public scrutiny. He refused to let failure define him and continued to contribute to football in meaningful ways. His experiences highlight the pressures of management. Compared to playing, Each disappointment became a lesson in resilience and adaptation. Supporters came to respect his courage as much as his skill. These challenges made his story richer, more human, and relatable to fans worldwide. Even the painful moments, like the 1989 title-deciding error, shaped his growth as a player and public figure. Barnes faced criticism head-on and spoke openly about the emotional impact. These experiences demonstrated humility and self-awareness rarely seen at the highest levels. They allowed him to connect with fans on a deeper level. His honesty turned personal mistakes into lessons for others. Barnes' career remains an inspiring mix of brilliance and vulnerability. Barnes' post-retirement struggles, including financial difficulties, highlight the challenges athletes face after their playing days. He shared his experiences publicly, educating others about financial responsibility and planning. His willingness to confront hardships openly strengthened his credibility and relatability. These chapters show that even legends must navigate life's unexpected trials. Barnes' story demonstrates that setbacks do not erase achievement. They simply add layers to a life fully lived in football, through every high and low. John Barnes has remained a respected figure in football. His insights as a pundit, mentor, and advocate reflect his enduring love for the game. Fans remember him for the goals, flair, and inspiration he provided on and off the pitch. Even after challenges, he continues to contribute meaningfully to the sport. His journey is a lesson in perseverance, resilience, and growth. Barnes' story proves that legacy is built through both talent and character. Thank you for watching this tribute to John Barnes, a football icon whose career spans triumph, challenge, and resilience. If you enjoyed this script and want more inspiring football stories, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Your support helps keep football history alive and celebrated. Barnes' story reminds us all of the power of talent combined with perseverance. More legendary stories and deep dives are coming your way.
Well, first of all, we tried to get Peter Beardsley, and they wanted 3 million at the time. I always remember the manager saying, "No, it's 3 million." And about 3 weeks later, they sold him to Liverpool for 1.9. You know, I was angry at that. I really was angry.
Peter Beardsley's career, once defined by creativity and skill, faced a turning point when allegations of misconduct surfaced during his coaching role with Newcastle United's under-23 squad. In 2019, the Football Association concluded its investigation and issued a 32-week ban. The findings determined that Beardsley had used racist and abusive language towards young players. This revelation shocked supporters who admired his playing legacy. The controversy overshadowed his contributions on the pitch. It also raised broader questions about conduct within youth football environments. The FA's disciplinary panel described the language used as obvious racist terms, leaving no ambiguity about the severity of the offence. Their detailed ruling emphasised that such behaviour was entirely unacceptable for someone in a position of authority. Newcastle United had already begun internal inquiries, which intensified public scrutiny. Many felt disappointed that a respected former player could breach professional and ethical standards. The case highlighted how damaging discriminatory remarks can be. It further underscored the FA's increasing commitment to policing inappropriate behaviour. Beardsley denied the allegations throughout the process, maintaining that he had not intended harm in any interactions with players. However, the FA's findings indicated that the evidence against him was strong and consistent. Witness testimonies played a major role in shaping the final decision. The disciplinary body stressed that intent did not excuse the impact of his words. This reasoning guided the severity of the punishment. It also reflected evolving expectations for safeguarding young athletes. The 32-week ban ban meant Beardsley was barred from any football-related activities, marking a rare and serious sanction for a coach of his stature. The ruling served as a message to the football community about accountability. Supporters, pundits, and former teammates reacted with a mix of shock and regret. Many acknowledged the significance of the outcome for affected players. The incident served as an inflection point for conversations about equality in sport. It also influenced how clubs approached internal oversight. In the aftermath, discussions grew about the broader culture within academies and youth development programs. Players from diverse backgrounds shared experiences that paralleled the concerns raised in the Beardsley investigation. This contributed to a growing movement demanding safer and more inclusive environments. Clubs were urged to reassess their policies and reporting mechanisms. The FA encouraged organisations to implement stronger education programmes. These efforts aimed to prevent future misconduct and encourage transparency. Although Beardsley's playing achievements remain part of football history, the controversy has become an inseparable part of his legacy. The case has been cited in debates about leadership responsibilities within sports institutions. It illustrated how reputations can shift dramatically due to off-field actions. The football world continues to grapple with lessons from the incident. Young athletes have since been given greater emphasis and protection, and the sport remains vigilant in confronting discriminatory behaviour wherever it appears. During Beardsley's tenure as Newcastle United's under-23s coach, formal complaints emerged that shifted the spotlight away from his reputation as a beloved former player. Midfielder Yassin Ben Elmhani lodged the initial claim, soon supported by several teammates who described inappropriate conduct. Their statements alleged repeated use of abusive and racially charged language. The FA later formalised 3 specific charges linked to these incidents, each related to comments deemed insulting and discriminatory under their rules. The escalation from internal concern to an official inquiry marked a pivotal moment. The Independent Regulatory Commission reviewing the case emphasised the seriousness of the accusations brought forward. They examined testimonies from players, staff members, and others present during key interactions. The consistency of the accounts strengthened the case against Beardsley. Evidence suggested that the remarks were not isolated but part of a pattern. The panel ultimately ruled the incidents proven. Their findings set the foundation for the consequential disciplinary actions that followed. One major incident involved a team-building trip to a Go 8 climbing centre, attended by several young players. At the event, Beardsley reportedly told black players of African heritage, "You should be used to that," implying a connection to racial stereotypes. The Commission found this remark clearly discriminatory in nature. Testimonies described the discomfort and shock experienced by those present. The panel concluded the comment met the standard for an aggravated breach. This incident played a significant role in shaping their decision. Another incident reviewed by the Commission included comments challenging the legitimacy of a black player's age. The FA determined this allegation to be supported by reliable testimony. The suggestion stemmed from a negative stereotype regarding African players and age fraud. Witnesses described the remark as demeaning and targeted. The regulatory panel highlighted how such statements can undermine trust and confidence. Their ruling stressed that the impact on the player was substantial. The FA's ruling described the remarks collectively as wholly unacceptable, reinforcing the organisation's stance against discriminatory language. While they found Beardsley guilty of the breaches, they made a nuanced distinction regarding intent. The panel stated they did not believe he harboured deep-seated racial animus. However, they also expressed serious reservations about his credibility during the investigation. This combination shaped the final framing of their judgment. The Commission emphasized that being not racist in intention does not negate harmful behavior driven by stereotypes. They noted that individuals in positions of authority must be especially cautious with language. Their decision underscored the responsibilities of youth coaches working with diverse squads. The panel highlighted that perceived humour or casual remarks can still perpetuate discrimination. They stressed that the rules exist to protect players from such experiences. This interpretation influenced the severity of the sanctions imposed. The education course was included as part of the FA's broader approach to rehabilitation. They argued that awareness training could help prevent future incidents within coaching environments. The panel emphasized the need for cultural understanding in youth development settings. Such reforms were seen as critical to fostering inclusive academies. The ruling aimed both to hold individuals accountable and to encourage institutional improvement. It signalled a shift in how misconduct cases were addressed. Beardsley, however, firmly denied the allegations from the start of the inquiry. He expressed surprise and disappointment at the final decision. In public statements, he maintained that he had never intended to offend any player. His defence referenced years of working with footballers from various backgrounds. Supporters of his character highlighted his positive relationships with former teammates. These contrasting narratives contributed to ongoing public debate. Despite the ruling, Beardsley announced his desire to return to football after completing his ban. He expressed confidence that he could rebuild his reputation. His supporters hoped that time and education would allow for reintegration. However, the controversy left a significant impact on perceptions within the sport. Many clubs grew more cautious about recruitment and oversight. The case highlighted how reputational damage can outlast disciplinary periods. The 2019 case fueled broader debates about behavioural expectations for retired players transitioning into coaching roles. Many argued that playing experience alone does not guarantee suitability for youth development work. The findings highlighted the importance of communication training and cultural awareness. Football's governing bodies stressed that safeguarding must remain a priority. The situation underscored how power dynamics can affect player welfare. These lessons were widely discussed in training circles. Youth development programs across the country responded by reassessing their internal policies. Clubs implemented stronger anti-discrimination protocols and clearer communication standards. Education sessions became more widespread within coaching teams. The FA encouraged consistent training to prevent similar incidents. The fallout from the case helped accelerate these reforms. Many saw the situation as a catalyst for needed cultural change. Thank you for reading this script exploring the key elements of Peter Beardsley's controversy and its influence on modern football. If you found this helpful, informative, or engaging, your support means a lot. Please consider liking and sharing to help others discover this content. Don't forget to subscribe for more detailed breakdowns, sports analyses, and documentary-style script. Your engagement helps the channel grow and allows more stories like this to be told. Stay tuned for future episodes and discussions.
He epitomised to me what a Scot was. As a footballer, he had courage, he was dashing, he had that mischievous factor about him that always had you on the edge of his seat wondering what he was going to be up to next.
Oh, one of the all-time greats, isn't he? No doubt about it.
Denis Law was someone special. You never get people like Denis Law. He was absolutely, I would think, probably one of the greatest players inside the box and goal scorers you've ever seen.
Denis Law's career, while widely celebrated, included moments of significant disappointment that shaped the emotional arc of his journey. Injuries often halted his progress, forcing him into difficult periods of recovery when he should have been shining on the pitch. These interruptions created a sense of frustration and longing during some of the most important years of his playing life. Law fought against setbacks with determination, but the battles were constant. Fans witnessed not just a superstar, but a man pushing through pain and uncertainty. This contrast added depth to the legend he eventually became.
Despite these challenges, Law remained a figure of immense talent and instinctive brilliance, lighting up stadiums whenever he played. His capacity to score with flair and confidence made him one of football's most electrifying forwards, yet beneath every cheer lay physical struggles most supporters never saw. Each injury carried fears about whether he could return to his previous level. The pressures of recovery weighed heavily on his mind. Still, Law refused to give in to frustration, always striving to reclaim his place. The most dramatic and heartbreaking moment of Law's career came in 1974 when he scored a gentle, instinctive backheel for Manchester City. On any other day, it would have been a goal worth celebrating, an example of his natural finishing touch, but this strike contributed to the relegation of Manchester United, the club he adored. The irony cut deeply, turning a moment of skill into one of emotional agony. He chose not to celebrate, walking away quietly as the crowd reacted in disbelief. The image became one of football's most haunting scenes. Law later expressed that the moment brought him no joy, clarifying that his loyalty to United never faded despite playing for City. His reaction on the pitch, head lowered, arms motionless, spoke louder than any interview ever could. It was a symbol of respect, sadness, and unavoidable fate intertwined in a single touch of the ball. Supporters from both sides acknowledged the emotional weight he carried. The incident followed him for years, a reminder of football's capacity for painful twists. That goal remains one of the sport's most iconic tragedies. Another source of disappointment for Law came from missing key finals, including Manchester United's most historic triumphs. Injuries kept him sidelined during moments when he longed to stand beside his teammates on the grandest stages. Watching from afar tested his spirit, blending pride for the club with personal sorrow. These absences created chapters of what-ifs in an otherwise golden career. Yet he never expressed bitterness, only support for those who played. His grace in such moments revealed the strength of his character through triumphs and frustrations alike. Law maintained a reputation as one of football's most courageous and technically gifted forwards. His sharp movements, fearless style, and incomparable scoring instincts made him a true attacking genius. Every comeback from injury added another layer to his legend. He earned admiration not just for talent but for perseverance through emotional and physical hardship. Law's resilience became a defining theme of his story. His presence on the pitch inspired both teammates and fans. Ultimately, Denis Law's career blended brilliance with adversity in a way few players experience. The injuries, the infamous backheel, and the missed finals became emotional anchors that shaped his identity. Yet these moments never overshadowed his extraordinary impact on the sport. Instead, they humanized a football icon, revealing vulnerability behind the talent. Law's strength lay in continuing forward despite the weight of disappointment. His legacy today stands as a testament to both his genius and his unshakable spirit. Missing the 1968 European Cup final stands as one of Denis Law's most painful memories, a moment he revisits with lingering sorrow. Manchester United's triumph over Benfica should have been a crowning achievement he shared on the pitch. Instead, a persistent knee injury requiring surgery kept him sidelined at the club's greatest moment. Law later called it the greatest disappointment of my career, words that captured the depth of his regret. Watching his teammates celebrate while he struggled with rehabilitation left a lasting emotional scar. It became the defining loss. Amid a career filled with victories, the injury that kept Law from the final had been troubling him for months, deteriorating his performance and confidence as the season wore on. Unable to compete at full strength, he felt the dream slipping away even before doctors confirmed the worst. His absence created an emotional void that he found impossible to ignore. Though he cheered on United, the internal conflict never faded. Each cheer was mixed with longing for what should have been his moment. The bittersweet memory remained etched in his legacy. The infamous backheel of 1974 became another defining and heartbreaking moment of Law's career. Playing for Manchester City at Old Trafford, he instinctively flicked the ball past the United goalkeeper. The goal was brilliant in skill but devastating in consequence, as many believed it sealed United's relegation. Law felt no joy, refusing to celebrate the strike that hurt the club he loved. He was immediately substituted, walking off the field. With visible anguish, he later called it the most painful memory of my career. Although results elsewhere meant United would have been relegated regardless, the symbolism of the goal haunted Law for years. His emotional conflict was clear from the moment the ball crossed the line. The supporters saw the distress on his face as he trudged off the pitch. For Law, scoring against United felt like a betrayal despite his professional duty. The back heel became a moment he wished he could erase. Its impact overshadowed what should have been a simple instinctive finish. The 1961 abandoned FA Cup tie created another source of frustration for Law during his early years. That day, he produced one of the most remarkable individual performances in English football history. Scoring 6 goals against Luton Town, he appeared destined for a record that would stand for generations. Yet torrential rain rendered the pitch unplayable, forcing the referee to abandon the match. All his goals were wiped from the record instantly. The replay brought no redemption, with City losing the match. Law carried the disappointment for years, knowing his extraordinary feat had been erased through no fault of his own. The abandoned game became a story told with equal parts pride and frustration. Teammates and opponents alike praised his performance, but praise couldn't restore what was lost. The incident reinforced the unpredictable cruelty of football. For Law, it was a reminder that even brilliance could be undone by forces beyond control. The day remained a symbol of opportunity stoned by circumstance. In the same year, Scotland's 9-3 loss to England at Wembley delivered one of the darkest moments of Law's international career. The heavy defeat shocked the football world and inflicted a deep wound on national pride. Law, part of the struggling Scottish side, described it as his blackest day. The humiliation lingered far beyond the match itself. Players faced relentless criticism from both media and supporters. The scoreline became a burden they carried for years. Law hated the memory of that match, feeling the weight of responsibility even though the team was collectively overwhelmed. Every goal conceded felt heavier than the last, and the damage was unforgettable. The defeat became one of Scotland's most painful international moments. Law and his teammates knew they would never fully escape the shadow of that result. Despite his dedication to the national team, the experience stayed with him. It served as a harsh lesson in football's brutal extremes. Persistent injuries formed another painful thread throughout Law's later career, eroding both his form and longevity. His knees, battered by years of heavy tackles, struggled to withstand the demands of top-flight football. Law believed poor medical treatment practices in English football contributed to the deterioration. Outdated methods often worsened injuries rather than healing them. The lack of proper care shortened what could have been an even greater peak. This reality frustrated Law deeply as he fought through recurring setbacks. The constant cycle of pain, recovery, and re-injury took an emotional toll on him. Each attempted comeback required more effort than the last, testing his mental and physical endurance. Law's performances, while still brilliant at times, became harder to sustain, or supporters watched him battle courageously, aware of the strain beneath the surface. His love for the game kept him pressing on despite deteriorating conditions. Yet he knew the medical limitations of the era were costing him precious years. Every injury compounded the previous one, creating a chain reaction that slowly diminished his explosive playing style. The quick turns, fearless leaps, and sharp finishes that defined him became increasingly difficult to execute. Law's frustration grew as his body betrayed what his mind still desired to perform. He fought to maintain his level, but physics and pain often won. It became an emotional struggle as much as a physical one. His career's second half thus carried a somber undertone. The reality of these injuries influenced not only his play but also his relationships with clubs and managers. They were forced to make difficult decisions regarding his fitness and availability. Law, known for his fiery, competitive spirit, found it painful to miss matches or contribute less than he expected of himself. Each setback felt like another loss, another moment slipping away. The limitations imposed by injury clashed with the heart of a fighter. It shaped the narrative of his later years profoundly. Despite everything, Law continued to give everything he had whenever he stepped onto the pitch. His grit and determination became legendary, admired even by rival supporters. Every match he played became a testament to perseverance. His commitment remained unwavering even as his physical tools weakened. Fans respected the honesty and effort he displayed through hardship. He remained a symbol of passion and resilience. Injuries may have shortened the prime of his career, but they never diminished its legacy. Supporters remembered the fire in his performances, not the limitations of his final years. The struggles only deepened the respect people held for him. Law's journey became a story of talent shaped by adversity. His career reflected both brilliance and bravery in the face of decline. This balance made his legacy even more compelling. Each disappointment from missed finals to erased records contributed to a more human portrait of Denis Law. He was not simply a scoring machine, but a man who faced real battles beyond the goal celebrations. These struggles highlighted the emotional weight carried by athletes of his era. Law's determination to push forward through pain earned him admiration beyond his goal tally. His low points revealed as much character as his triumphs. Together, they shaped a career of depth and authenticity. Ultimately, Denis Law's story combines triumph, heartbreak, and unwavering spirit in a way few footballers experience. His iconic moments shine brightly, yet the disappointments give his legacy its emotional foundation. Injuries, lost opportunities, and painful twists could not diminish his greatness. Instead, they made his achievements more meaningful. Law's resilience remains at the heart of his legend. His journey stands as one of football's most powerful narratives of talent and tenacity. Denis Law's legacy stands as one of football's most emotionally rich and enduring stories, woven from brilliance, hardship, and unwavering passion. His journey showcased a rare blend of artistry and courage, capturing the hearts of supporters across generations. For every moment of disappointment, he responded with determination that elevated his reputation even further. The beauty of his career lies not only in the goals he scored but in the humanity behind them. Law's spirit resonated with fans who admired honesty as much as talent. His name remains etched permanently in the history of the sport. Through all the injuries, setbacks, and heartbreaks, Law continued to represent the game with dignity and fire. His perseverance became a defining feature of his character, inspiring countless players who faced similar struggles. Every comeback he attempted revealed a deeper layer of resilience. Supporters saw a man who refused to yield, even when circumstances weighed heavily against him. That refusal to surrender became part of his legend. His resilience transformed tragedy into triumph. Law's connection with Manchester United, Scotland, and every club he touched created a bond that has lasted decades. He became more than a player. He became a symbol of loyalty, pride, and emotional authenticity. Supporters respected not only the goals he scored but the heart he put into every match. Even in moments of personal pain, his dedication never wavered. That loyalty strengthened his status as one of the sport's most beloved icons. His influence extends far beyond his playing years. The emotional highs and lows of Law's career reflect the true essence of football: passion, joy, heartbreak, and unity. Fans connected with him because he represented the human side of the sport, embracing vulnerability without losing his competitive edge. His moments of brilliance thrilled millions, while his moments of sorrow made his journey relatable and real. These contrasts created a story richer than statistics alone could ever express. Law's legacy lives in the emotion he brought to the game. His story remains unforgettable. Tributes to Denis Law continue to highlight not just his achievements, but the way he played with courage, instinct, and pure joy. His scoring touch, sharp intelligence, and fearless approach shaped an era of football admired worldwide. Yet the struggles he faced only amplified the respect earned over decades. Law's name is spoken with admiration by legends, analysts, and supporters alike. He remains a benchmark of passion and perseverance. His legacy inspires every generation that follows. Thank you for joining this tribute to Denis Law, a footballing legend whose story blends glory with heartfelt humanity. His journey reminds us that greatness is defined not only by success but by the battles fought along the way. If you enjoyed this script and want more stories like this, your support means the world. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Your engagement helps keep football history alive. More powerful tributes and stories are on the way.
Birmingham's Trevor Francis has it cracked. A great save by the Leeds goalie.
James. McElroy turning and shooting. And a great save by Harvey.
David Harvey's professional career was characterized by remarkable longevity and consistent, understated excellence, predominantly serving as the last line of defence for the iconic Leeds United side of the 1960s and 70s. Hailing from Scotland, his dedication to the club spanned 3 decades, broken only by a brief spell playing in the United States. His playing days were, by and large, free of the fiery scandals or dramatic confrontations often associated with top-flight football, establishing him as a reliably solid and respected figure in the game. The most significant discussion point surrounding Harvey's tenure at Elland Road was not about his capability, but about timing and selection during the foundational years of Don Revie's dynasty. When Harvey arrived, the goalkeeper's spot was firmly held by the established and occasionally flamboyant Welsh international Gary Sprake. Sprake was a gifted, if sometimes error-prone, keeper who was a key fixture in Revie's early successes, making the path to the first team a challenging one for the young Scot. As Harvey matured and his abilities became undeniable, a low-key but persistent debate began to simmer among the Leeds United faithful. Fans watched Harvey perform admirably in reserve and cup fixtures, noting his calm demeanour and superior shot-stopping technique compared to Sprake's more erratic style. This created a clear division. Should Revie stick with the proven, albeit inconsistent, veteran who had won trophies, or promote the younger, more reliable talent? Manager Don Revie, a man known for his meticulous planning and deep loyalty, faced a genuine selection dilemma which became the main source of controversy in Harvey's otherwise smooth career. Revie was deeply committed to Sprake, who was an integral, if sometimes nervous, part of the dressing room and had been crucial in securing the club's initial silverware. The decision was not simply about who was the better goalkeeper on any given day, but about team chemistry, experience, and the manager's reluctance to destabilise a winning formula. Ultimately, Harvey had to wait patiently for his time, proving his quality and consistently putting pressure on Sprake through his performances whenever given the chance. This prolonged period on the sidelines for a player of his calibre spoke volumes about the intense competition within the squad and Reevy's cautious management style. Harvey's quiet determination during this period earned him respect from his teammates and the coaching staff. Even if the fans were clamouring for a permanent change in goal, the eventual shift saw Harvey assume the long-term mantle of first-choice goalkeeper, a transition that cemented his place in Leeds United lore. Once given the opportunity, he seized it and became an indispensable part of the later Revie years and the subsequent management periods. The controversy was less a personal feud and more a reflection of the wealth of talent at Leeds and the difficulty Revie had in choosing between two international calibre goalkeepers for a single coveted spot. In retrospect, while the debate over when he should have been promoted is still a talking point for older fans, Harvey's legacy is one of absolute vindication. His long spell as the undisputed number one contributed to some of the club's greatest achievements, including the 1974 League Championship. The early selection debate merely serves to highlight the quality he possessed and the patience he demonstrated before becoming the steady, unflappable guardian of the Leeds goal for over a decade. Understood. I will regenerate the text based on your request, keeping the content the same, but restructuring the 17 points into significantly larger paragraphs, ensuring each paragraph still maintains a tight narrative focus and avoids excessive internal spacing. David Harvey's professional journey at Leeds United was fundamentally shaped by the enduring goalkeeping rivalry he shared with Gary Sprake, a dynamic that created the only true controversy in his largely understated career. For many years, Harvey occupied the reserve spot, a decision frequently debated by fans and pundits who felt his calm consistency and superior technical ability warranted the starting position over Sprake, whose tenure was punctuated by brilliant saves and frustrating high-profile errors. This prolonged internal selection dilemma was a testament to the immense pressure under which Don Revie operated, having to choose between the experienced but sometimes erratic Sprake, a key figure in the team's initial success, and the reliable, burgeoning talent of Harvey. The young Scots' patience and professionalism during this period, marked by consistent training and exemplary conduct, ultimately proved his readiness for the senior role, ensuring that when the opportunity finally arose, he was fully equipped to seize it and permanently stabilise the Leeds defence. The long-simmering goalkeeping debate boiled over dramatically during the 1970 FA Cup final against Chelsea. In the initial match at Wembley, Sprake committed a costly, high-profile blunder, misjudging a clearance that directly contributed to a Chelsea goal late in the game, an error that encapsulated the frustration many fans felt with his inconsistency. Recognising the monumental cost of the error and needing a psychological shift, Don Revie made the difficult, high-stakes decision to drop Sprake and hand David Harvey the starting role for the Old Trafford replay. This was Harvey's first significant opportunity to prove his worth on the grandest stage. However, despite his solid performance, Leeds United ultimately lost the intensely physical encounter 2-1 after extra time. Although the defeat was disappointing, the managerial decision to install Harvey for the crucial replay signalled an irreversible shift in the club's goalkeeping hierarchy, marking the beginning of the end of Sprake's undisputed reign. The decisive transition for Harvey finally occurred during the 1971-72 season, prompted by Gary Sprake suffering a career-altering knee injury that opened the door for Harvey to claim the number one jersey permanently. Unlike a controversial benching, this injury provided a clear, uncontested path for Harvey to demonstrate his capabilities over an extended period. Harvey excelled in the role, providing a stabilising and authoritative presence that was instrumental in the team's push for the league and cup double that year. His consistent top-class performances swiftly silenced any remaining scepticism and cemented his position, culminating in the personal triumph of winning the 1972 FA Cup against Arsenal at Wembley. This victory was the official validation of his talent and perseverance, finally rewarding him with major silverware as the established first-choice keeper and bringing a definitive end to the years of public discussion over who should wear the number 1 shirt. One of the most profound team-related controversies Harvey was involved in was the 1973 European Cup Winners' Cup final against AC Milan in Thessaloniki. Leeds lost 1-0 in a match that remains infamous for the appalling performance of Greek referee Christos Mikas, whose highly questionable decisions consistently favoured the Italian side and denied Leeds several clear scoring opportunities. This fixture was later revealed to be tainted by allegations of bribery, a scandal that officially discredited the referee and cast a permanent shadow over the result. For Harvey and his teammates, the game represented a profound injustice, robbing them of a major European trophy through what was widely considered unsporting external interference, an event that became a defining symbol of frustration for that generation of Leeds players. Following his remarkable football career, David Harvey made a conscious and definitive choice to step away from the limelight, opting for a low-key life that perfectly reflected his reserved and humble nature. He eschewed the typical pathways into coaching, management, or media punditry, instead embracing roles that offered stability and normalcy. This included working as a postman in Scotland, a stark and refreshing contrast to the intensity of professional sports, and later managing a local pub. Both vocations underlined his desire to remain grounded and prioritise a quiet, community-focused existence. Crucially, his post-football career has been entirely free of the personal controversies or scandals that often plague former athletes. His enduring legacy is defined by his profound professionalism, his patience in overcoming the early goalkeeping rivalry, and the quiet dignity with which he managed the turbulent, often scandalous history of the great Leeds United team he served. David Harvey's career trajectory, from a long-serving reserve keeper to the undisputed number 1, provides a powerful lesson in professional patience and unwavering consistency. His quiet determination to wait behind Gary Sprake for years, refusing to let the fan debate or managerial uncertainty disrupt his focus, speaks volumes about his character. When his moment finally arrived due to injury, he did not just fill a gap. He established a new, higher standard of reliable goalkeeping, securing the position permanently through sheer quality and composure, ultimately earning the accolades that his talent deserved. Ultimately, David Harvey is remembered not for the early debate, but as the reliable, talented custodian who played a crucial role in securing the club's greatest achievements. He overcame the initial challenges, battled through periods of team controversy, and left an indelible mark on Elland Road history. His quiet professionalism ensures his place among the pantheon of Leeds United greats, a true legend whose story is one of enduring quality and humble triumph.